for this.
Welcome back to Maximum Overload Podcast. I'm G. Holloman. I got some special guests here today. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho.
My name is Sone.
And this is MyLynh. We're the owners of S1built LLC, located in Largo, Florida. You can find us on YouTube, IG, Facebook, TikTok, as well as visit our website at www.s1built.com.
Indeed. What's the meaning behind S1built, and how did you come up with the slogan for that?
So S1 is actually my name. S and then one O-N-E. So S1 is how the name came about, S1built. So it's just my name. Cool. So it originated like back in the 90s. So at first it was Speed 1, which was like Speed 1 racing like we had back in the military days. And from there, after I got out and all that and everything, we swapped it over to, S1built.
What about the logo? I see you have a unique logo.
Okay, so the logo came about. So when I was in the military, I always, like we always have this positive vibe within the section. I always tells my guys, hey, don't look for happiness, create it. Because we were overseas, and and I always let them, hey, and it was always on my hat, on my patrol hat. It actually says, don't look for happiness, create it. And that was, the whole thing. And then after I got out and all that, we're like, you know what, let's maybe put it in. And then somehow it became don't look for happiness. And then, because, we're building cars, so is don't look for happiness, build it. So, yeah. And then when we started doing the all-wheel drive, of course, we incorporated the, don't look for happiness, all-wheel drive it. So that's where it came about. It's actually started like when I was in the military. It was like, just something that, you so far away from home and all that. It's just, hey, you just have to create your own happiness, So
Makes sense. All right. MyLynh, I want to ask you, what's a day-to-day operation for you? What does that look like for you going when you come into the shop?
So during the school year, we have one child that's still at home. He's actually in middle school. So during the school year, I start my day off by first off dropping him off at school and then heading in there. By the time I get there, the team's already there. Son's always there super early along with one or two other guys. And then they've already gotten their day started. So for me, once I get there, I basically just hop right in and see where we're at as far as office-wise, in terms of like the orders, return phone calls if I need to, emails and stuff like that, just getting caught up. But it's nonstop for us. We get not only just, comments on social media, all of the pages that we run. And it's not just one person that runs it. There's a couple of us that runs each of the pages. But from answering questions there, emails, phone calls, and even private messages to most of the dealers that knows us personally, that offers our products to their customers, we actually are in contact with them like one-on-one basis as well on a daily basis. And it's throughout the whole entire world because we offer our products worldwide. But yeah, I mean, basically just kind of like coming in and just blending in with the team, see where everyone left off and trying to help as much as I can. And of course, running errands. I'm always in and out for the business itself, running business errands and stuff like that. But it keeps us on our feet.
Yeah. I hear you. Always busy.
Always busy.
Yeah.
When you quit the dealerships, how did that come about, bringing S1 to fruition? How did that come about, if you want to go into that?
So after I left the dealership, I didn't leave just as like, hey, you know what, there was an opportunity. I actually left because I got deployed. So, I got deployed for a year and a half, and I was planning on coming back, but after I got deployed, I was like, you know what, let me try to see what else I could do besides that, because I get bored real easily. So I actually went when I got back and started doing other stuff. Law enforcement. I did that, and it was just, everything just keep pulling me back to cars. Everything was always cars and stuff like that. So we had like a little small shop that we worked, just because we couldn't work in our garage because of the neighbors and all that. So we just had a shop that we were doing our own cars and all that. So, but a lot of people knew that I worked on cars and stuff like that. So they would used to come by and be like, hey, can you fix my car, or can you do this? And that's where it all began. And even that, it was like I didn't really want to do that as a living. I always had like there's something bigger that's gonna happen, and that's why I kept sticking with it. Everything I would go and do this, I would come back and always come back to doing cars. So I know there was more opportunity. Well, not more opportunity at the time. It was bigger opportunity to go, do contract works and all that and everything for the government. But there was something about it. It's like I don't want to leave the family again, and like I said, I just stuck with it, and that's where it all came about.
And MyLynh, when you and Sone chose to go all in on the shop you're at currently, were you still in corporate, or how did that support come about? And you guys getting behind that?
Initially, when we moved here from California after having our 12-year-old son, he was actually born in California. We moved here. I was actually still working for the real estate law firm for a long time. And then when he's talking about that shop, it was like kind of like a hobby shop, more so for them to have a place to have fun with their own cars. And like he said, people started coming and asking him, can you do the same thing to mine? And, word of mouth came out, and next thing you know, it turned into him doing it as almost like another job, So we continued doing that for several years, me working at the law firm, him, doing the little hobby side work on the side and stuff like that. And then in 2017, he was actually diagnosed with leukemia. And at that point, being that he's a veteran, we can only rely on the VA for medical help and stuff like that. So the condition that he was in medically, he had to get a bone marrow transplant. And the closest VA facility that would offer such type of transplant would be Nashville. So in order for us to get him the transplant, we would have to actually move to Nashville for several months after he gets his first round of chemo and all that stuff. It was like a whole process. So at that point, I was like, you know what, I have no choice but to quit my job at the firm and to make sure I'm, by his side every step of the way, and stuff like that. So that's what I did. I resigned at the firm. We moved to Nashville for several months for the transplant. After everything was okay, we moved back here. And at that point, I was like, should I even bother returning to corporate and starting fresh again? Or should I just, since he's okay now, we're looking at it like God is giving us a second chance for him to live. So he's always had, and like he said, he's always into cars and mainly Hondas. He's always had this idea about all-wheel driving Hondas, but yet there were, a couple companies out there that were offering it, but they were just an arm and a leg. People couldn't afford it. We know that we're Honda owners ourselves. So we know that Honda owners don't really have deep pockets. So not everyone's going to be able to afford to go all-wheel drive. Why not bring this idea into life, offer it to the Honda community, and make it affordable so that everybody can have fun with it? And that's what we did. Since God is giving us a second chance to live, let's pay it back and to the community and put his ideas and everything into action and offer it to the Honda community and let everyone have fun with it. And that's how we got started. I'm like, okay, I'm not going back to the corporate America world. Let's just follow this dream and see what happens. Yeah. And to be honest with you, at that point, after not being able to work for so long, for both of us, not just myself, both of us not being able to work for so long, we kind of basically, it was a shot in the dark. When we reopened the business as S1built LLC as a manufacturing company, it was basically using the very last penny we had left. and a shot in the dark. Let's see what happens. And we've lucked out. God's been watching out for us. Every time we released a product, we would sell out. And we went from just him and I to 4 people to 6 people to 8 people, and now we have a team of about 13 people total. Yeah.
Indeed. That was one of the questions I was going to ask. When did you decide to go all in on specializing in the all-wheel drive portion of Honda? And that's a good backstory. I like that.
I think a lot of it in the beginning we weren't planning on doing it. To be honest with you, I wasn't. I was like, oh, we're gonna do this. We were gonna work with other companies to do it, but there was just so much, with other companies and stuff like that. It's just like, I hate to say it, but it's just, it seems like everybody's out there for themselves, And I'm like, I just want to make a couple of things and that's it, and I'll be happy with it, We didn't expect to have employees and all that and everything. It was just gonna be me, her, and TK, and that was it. And then one of my friends, and then just doing it, like little small shop.
Yeah.
We'll sell a few kits here and there, but nothing crazy, not like a full kit. But it didn't work out like that because we had, of course, all the talking, this and that, and so I'm like, you know what? And then we had some real good. What really made it was actually the support that we got from customers and other people and friends and family and all that. I started seeing more and more people supporting. I'm like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do it. Just, go full blown with it. A one-stop shop, because people do appreciate it. The people that's going to talk trash don't even listen.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we were so successful with it, is because we didn't listen to none of the trash talking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That just made us like, oh yeah, let's just do it. And then, going to events and then all the support that we got that we didn't even know. And I think that's what really helped out. It's like, wow, like the love and support. I think that's what made it that much easier to push forward with it.
Good. Yeah. What is work-life balance like with you two? Is it 24/7 at the shop and then the same at home? Because you guys have a
Pretty
team,
much.
which is like a family.
Yeah. We look at our team
Or do
always
you
like a
have
family.
boundaries? Do you have boundaries to turn it on, turn it off when you go home?
I don't think we ever have the opportunity to really turn anything off, to be honest with you. Like I mentioned earlier, we cater to the globe, everywhere.
Yeah.
So you can only imagine both our phones go off all hours of the day, all night
Yeah.
and everything. And I think that we're just so used to catering that we don't mind it. Like even if we get a phone, like some kind of message or something, and if we just happen to wake up to use the restroom at 2 a.m. and we see the message, we always answer it. Like it's like a habit. Like you just want to make sure that people know they're taken care of. We told ourselves from the beginning, not only that we're going to try and make our prices, affordable so that everybody can have a chance to have fun with it, but we also told ourselves we're never going to be the type of company that are just going to throw our products at people and tell them, here you go, sink or swim, you're on your own. We want them to know that they can always reach out to us. We'll do the best we can, whatever makes sense that we can help, depending on what the scenario is, what the situation is. Of course, there's certain things that's out of our hands. Like if you have an issue that arises on something that you bought from us 5 years ago, that's obviously something that we can't really, take care of. Of course, our warranty is always manufacturer defect from when you first, acquired the product. But even at that, we still find a way to try to help out somehow. Either give them another, some extra discount or something to help out towards the next, replacement item or whatever. But our goal is to always try to help as much as we can,
good.
in any way. So.
Take us through when you first got the shop that you're in currently. What was some of the biggest challenges you faced when you first got this location? And then MyLynh, you go after.
I think the biggest one was expense. Because like I said, when we first started, we didn't have nothing. So we just like, hey, either we go, full blown with it and just everything that we make. So even right now, everything that we make goes right back to the shop. So we hadn't even profit anything that we made through the years. everything's been going back to new product, new development, and stuff like that. So, and I don't think a lot of people really. I mean, even I in the beginning didn't really understand how much of whatever you make goes back into the company. Like every penny.
Yes, it
So
does.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I haven't even seen a paycheck for myself. People are like, oh, you got this new car. You just,
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's not a new car. That's most of these cars that I get is actually
trading.
it's like for R&D, a lot
Yeah,
of it. So
that too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
MyLynh, what's some of the biggest challenges you faced at the
My
current job?
challenge, I don't know what it is, but I just kind of like just go roll with the punch. Like whatever comes my way, I just try to just figure it out. I can't really specifically say like I have one specific challenge that's been hard for me, other than what he says is like the expenses. But everything like I don't know. I just always roll with the punch. The expense is correct. Like R&D, research and development is countless hours, not only time, money, because you have to buy, like he said, different chassis vehicles, come back, test it out and stuff like that. And then you have to go into prototyping, testing that out. And then you're going to have to go into mass production and stuff like that. So the biggest challenge, I think he's right, is mostly the expenses. Like people don't see, a lot of people still they think that we're actually a big company, but we're really not.
Yeah.
To us, we're still a very small company, just trying to make it work, But yeah, we revenue very well, but more than 100% goes right back to the business, one way or another.
Yeah, that's the only way
Yeah.
it can grow and keep growing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You have
true.
to keep reinvesting and reinvesting. I don't think people on the outside they don't understand that
Yeah.
unless they're in it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
that we don't really sit and think about the challenges as much. We kind of like to think about all the blessings.
Yeah.
Like having such growing so fast, multiplying, with the staff so fast, having all the love and support around the world, and then even just our team, looking out for each other, working well together, and just doing things with one another all the time. Like even outside of work, we work a lot. We're there all the time. We see each other every day. But even on the weekends and evenings, we try to sometimes hang out, like, go bowling or go to dinner and stuff like that. You would think a lot of companies, when you're working together so much, you see each other day in and day out. You don't want to see each other after hours,
Right.
but
That's
we
what I'm
actually
thinking.
do. We actually
Yeah, we
like
do.
hang out at each other's homes, invite each other over, or meet up somewhere and do things all the time, and we love it. I think we think about the blessings more than the challenges, if anything.
Yeah, if more of us thought like that, I think it'd be a better place just in business, not just home life.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, like, for me personally, I love the challenge. I love the challenge. If it's too quiet, then I just,
Life is too boring with no challenge.
yeah, I like the challenge. I like all the, everything moving, this, that, figure things out. And I think it was just because I think the military made me like that, because even the military, I like stress. Like, I don't get stressed, but I like things coming at me at 10,000s, at a time. Just, okay, do this, do that. But then if there's only like one thing coming at me, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm kind of bored of it. And I think,
spoken like a true technician.
Yeah.
yeah, that's exactly how it is. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
That's and that's respectful. How many employees make up the team, and then both of you go into the challenges of having employees, because that has to be a challenge.
So aside from Sone and I, we have 7 full-time employees, and we have 4 part-time employees. A lot of people can say, like, the biggest expense is probably payroll,
Yeah.
but to me, they're worth every bit.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
I could, like any other small businesses, find, cheaper ways to pay them or easier ways to pay them and stuff like that, and stuff like that. But we always try to look out for them too. Because, we've got friends that, hey, why don't you do like, the 1099, whatever.
Yeah.
And let them handle their own taxes later on. It's just, to me, I feel like that's just too much work on them. Whatever we can do to help them, if you treat your employees well, they'll be loyal. They'll do what they can for you as well. It's one hand washes the other, and it shows through ours. I know not everybody's the same. Not every company experiences the same thing we do. But we know for a fact that our guys they basically take care of us as well as we take care of them.
Yeah.
So we don't want to break that.
Yeah, no, definitely they do take care of us, and I'm a strong believer. If we're gonna grow, we're all gonna grow together. I told them, hey, if I'm living in this big old house, you guys are gonna be right next to me. I believe in that because they're the one that's making us that. And I don't believe in like, oh, we were in this mansion and these guys are living in an apartment. I don't believe in that at all. So I said, just I tell them all the time, like, look. If once we do better, this and that, everybody's gonna feel, like see the blessing and all that. We're all gonna, so, and we've been doing it. I mean, every way that we could, even when we don't have it, we try to help out because we are really, really. I mean, I've been other companies, this and that, and everything, and that's what I learned. I don't want to be like that. I want to be. This is the kind of company I want to be. Same thing with leaderships and stuff like that. This is the kind of leader that I want to be, But we are really like family, like everybody. If someone needed help in the middle of the night, any of those guys would get up and help out, vice versa. So, and I think that's the biggest blessing about, the guys that's there, it's because they want to be there. They could go make more money somewhere else, but they're just, it's just the family, the, feel and all that, everything, everybody's taking care of each other. Just like every other family, we're going to have our issues and stuff like that, but we always overcome it at the end, so.
That's good. Good. Well said. I want to ask, what's the craziest conversion that you have done at the shop for a customer?
The Acti truck. The Acti truck, because we had to redesign everything. That was like a one-off, and where we just winged it. Like, okay, let's do this. Well, it'd be pretty cool. Let's try to use the arms that we make, incorporate into that, and then with
That's
way
the
the
one
short
with the
base.
K20 in the back.
Yeah, the
yep,
K-swap
yep.
Acti.
Yeah, the little Acti. So it was a good learning experience and all that. So it taught us a lot. We changed a few times the dimensions and stuff like that just to make it work better. But I think we got it down now, really, really good. We're actually in the process of making a kit for it.
I'm
Yeah.
starting to see more of those.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Those
Or-
cars,
yeah.
I mean, people has been reaching out to us from all over,
Yeah.
asking if we can do the same thing to their Acti.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't have the capacity because of focusing with all-wheel drive stuff
Right.
and working up the vehicle chassis as we speak. We've covered like the EF CRX and all the way up to like the O2 Civics and stuff like that, and now we're moving into the Accords and the TLX and everything. So with all these people inquiring about the Acti after seeing the one that we did, it only makes sense to help them out and try to develop a kit for them to do
Yeah.
it themselves,
That'll be if you guys develop that, that'll be pretty profitable for you guys.
yeah, we're
Those
in
are
the
really
process.
popular in Japan.
Yeah,
Those
no, they
trucks,
are.
very. They're a dime a dozen.
Yeah. If you watch back at some of the Fast and Furious movies, I think the one in Tokyo, you'll see a lot of Actis in the background.
Yeah, they're very
I
popular.
didn't notice that until recently.
What build makes you the most profit at the shop?
To be honest with you, when we take on customers' car, we really don't make that much.
No.
It's really not. It's only to hone our skill. To hone our skill and to like, because you don't want to manufacture something and like, oh, I don't know, I never installed it. It's like, oh, you know what? And when we install and stuff like that, and that's why we did some of the change. We're like, you know what? We could make this a little bit easier. Well, let's change this a little bit, just to make it easier to install it or, stuff like that, But really, like, there's really none of those really make us money.
Yeah.
Some of those, I'm not gonna lie, some of those we actually lose money off because it's, you figure the car sits there for 2 months or something like that, and you got, our guys working on like 2-3 guys working on it day in, day out. When you do the math
And
and
they're
all
on
that,
payroll,
like, yeah.
so-
it's like,
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always underestimate the the cost is of building vehicles, and when we convey that to the customer, we don't want to like turn around and say, actually, it's more than what I told you. That's just
Yeah.
not right, you know.
Yeah.
But in reality, we spend a lot more time, and even sometimes parts out of our own pockets, just so that our customer can be happy, and we don't even mention it to them, you know. So.
Well, that takes me. I was going to ask two things. First, is there any local shops that's like your biggest competitor or
No,
no?
because we're really just a manufacturing company. We only manufacture all-wheel drive components and stuff. But the reason why we're still getting these builds is because, like Son said earlier, word of mouth, and they just don't trust anyone else. So
Right.
they're a lot of these guys, you know, not tooting our horns or anything, but a lot of them are kind of begging for us to take the job because they can't trust anyone else. And we kind of feel bad. So, you know, we're like, okay, we'll do it. But we know in the back of our minds it's not a profitable gain or anything like that. It's just so that because we want to help them, you
Yeah.
know. So
Is there an experience you guys can remember that was like just you wish you never took that build on?
Not really, because a lot of the builds it just
My
makes-
Lynn shook her head. Yes.
there is.
for me it wasn't, because to me I like the challenge.
Yeah.
Like trying to figure things
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, it might be frustrating and stuff like that, but I was like, oh, okay, you know, I got it done, because you know, you can always figure something out. It's just you know how you go about it and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm not a stressful person. It's you know, I don't stress, and like, okay, we get it done and get it done. But you know, so everything that I do and stuff like that, I feel like it was a good learning experience. And every day I want to learn. I want to learn new things and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, in that aspect, that's, you know, that's very true. But like a regrettable build would be someone that doesn't hold up their end of the stick for us.
Oh,
You know, that type of stuff. Like
Go into it.
We done our part out of good faith. You know, yeah, it's okay. You don't have to pay us. You know, I don't have money to pay you now. Can I pay you later? Out of good faith, okay, fine. We know each other. It's no big deal. And we never see that person again.
Yeah.
And that person's local. And it's probably once or twice has happened to us.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah, that would be a regrettable, you know, thing. But as far as experience wise, of course, you know, every build is an awesome experience, you know.
Yeah.
So
Is there an experience that you've had that you'll always remember from a customer?
a lot of the customers, they really
I
appreciate.
don't remember all of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the.
Is there one that stands out?
Right now, we have one that's a female driver. She's it's a Mini Cooper K swap, all-wheel drive, and I'm all about the girls. So we need more girls in this community, this car community. So yeah, I mean I'm never gonna forget that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still working on it, but and then we also had another recent female one, Missy. She's actually local here with her all-wheel drive Prelude, 5th gen Prelude. So yeah, like I said, you know, I love, you know, seeing the ladies. Like I'm always outnumbered, you know, in this community, in this line of work, I'm always outnumbered. So it's nice to, you know, have the more ladies involved and support one another, you know.
Son, is there any that stand out at all?
Oh man, all of them do, because it's the for me it's after you get done and you know the customer appreciating, you know, and I think that's the best feeling about it, you know. So it's just, you know, after they get in their car and they're just so excited about it, because I know how that feels. You know, getting like back then and getting parts, even little small parts, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's just that's the great feeling, you know.
What do you think about the phrase "the customer's always right"?
I believe that 100% to a certain extent. Okay. I tell them like, hey, you know, like let's figure out what's going on and stuff like that. You know, don't go jumping to conclusion. Oh no, this and that. But always figure it out. You know, always work with the customer about, you know, the issues, the problem, or whatever they have. But then there's some customers there's
Impossible to please,
yeah,
no
it's
matter what.
impossible, no matter what you
No
do.
matter what.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Our number one priority is customer satisfaction. To date, you know, we're still told that they have really good customer experience with us, customer service experience with us. We've got people telling us, you guys are better than Chick-fil-A, stuff like that.
Yeah.
All the time. Little comments here and there. Letting us know how much they appreciate our customer service, that they would always send customers our way or come back, to do more business with us, and all that. But like Sone says, we're definitely a strong believer in customers always right, but there are scenarios, certain situations that it's impossible to please them, no matter how much you try to do your best to help, even if you're making exceptions to certain policies that your company's been holding forever, they're still complaining about something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So
We try to please every. I mean,
Yeah.
you just try your
try
best.
to
We do,
Try,
we
we
do.
really do. Because I know what it feels like to go somewhere and then have it promised this and that and everything and way out, and
Yeah.
I hate it, And I think that's what made us so successful is, people believing that they know that we're going to take care of them, and we have, even if it's not our fault or whatever, we try to help them out as much as we could,
I think it's to the point where we realized one time where we try to make everyone happy and try to take the blame for every little thing that we did that too quickly and at one scenario that it actually bit us in the butt because it wasn't even our fault, but it was actually spreaded like everywhere throughout social media that it was our fault just because we were so quick to take the blame, not knowing that it wasn't even our fault. We were just wanted to take the blame because we wanted to take care of that customer.
Right.
And to this day, people are still sometimes, it's still circling, like it's still resurfacing in certain conversations and stuff like that. We didn't realize until after we took care of the problem that
Right.
it wasn't even our fault.
But it goes both ways
Yeah.
because, by taking the blame and stuff like that, it's like, okay, no, we'll take care of it, this and everything. It shows that the company's willing to take the blame and work with you, even though that instead of,
Yeah.
it would have been so easy. Well, I don't know, it would have been easier, but I could have said, oh, no, it's not. This is not our fault. We have all the proof and all that, and then go back and forth, back and forth. Like,
There's no
what
sense
is
in
that
going
gonna
back.
do?
Yeah.
and
What is
forth,
that going to do?
Exactly. So, but I think we had more people because of that incident. We had more following, more people was like, you know what? I'd rather buy from you guys because you guys say exactly what you guys are going to do. You can take care of the customer. You warranty your product and stuff like that.
You guys like doing if it
Travel.
had nothing to do with cars.
Travel, yeah.
Yeah, travel.
We've realized that actually just recently, probably about 2 years ago, Sone and I made a pact that instead of the typical, parties and gatherings for our special occasions, such as birthdays, anniversaries, and all that stuff, instead of having parties and get together, why not go see different places that we haven't seen?
Yeah.
So for the last couple of years, we've had, we've been blessed with the opportunity to be able to visit different places in the world that we've never seen before. And it opens your eyes, in a lot of different ways. Instead of keeping you just in this area and just the same thing day in and day out, you see how other areas of the
Cultures,
world,
yeah.
other cultures and stuff
Yeah.
like that, how people are and their mindset and stuff like that. It kind of it helps you think clearer, with life in general and stuff like that. And
Actually appreciate things.
yeah, appreciate things and stuff like that. So yeah, other than work, cars, we love to travel.
What's
We love
ne-
to try new stuff.
Yeah.
What's next destination?
Minneapolis.
Well, yeah, probably this coming month. But then talking about as far as country goes.
Yeah.
Oh, like
country.
a different place.
Yeah, we were
It
thinking
could be
about.
statewide too. but-
Yeah.
Yeah, I think country-wise, we're planning either going to Japan, hopefully soon, and then Puerto Rico, of course, again, because we didn't really.
Vietnam. Did you forget?
Oh yeah, Vietnam. So there's a few spots. So we made literally we told all the guys, the shops hey, you guys need to go get your passports. So
Yeah.
they started to do it. So I think most of them do have their passport now. So
Most of them do. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we could all go together and stuff like that. Maybe
Yeah.
close down for a week or something and just go, as a group.
For both of you, what's a song that you play when you're pulling up to the shop?
I always listen to the radio, so I don't have a specific song.
Nothing song?
Yeah.
You ever know mine?
Yeah.
All right. 6:50, 7 o'clock every morning. When I roll up, I'm always listening to either the remix of Tupac. They have
one?
the mashup. It's a mashup that I
Oh,
listen
okay.
to. It's like a bunch of mashup that I listen to. So that's what I usually listen to.
Did you know we have our own song, S1 All-Wheel Drive? If you look up on Spotify, Amazon Music, even iTunes, S1 AWD, it's actually our own theme song.
Yeah.
It's a whole full song.
It's on Spotify?
It's on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, basically all of them.
So I just type in S1 all-wheel drive?
AWD, yeah.
Oh,
S1, and then a space,
A-
AWD.
Okay. I'm going to look that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We went to a recording studio
It's
to do
the
it.
song
It was a,
at the ending of our every video on YouTube
Oh, okay.
on our
Cool.
channel.
Yeah. Nice. Who's your biggest influencer in the car game?
oh man, a lot of them. I mean, a lot of them. I mean, I can't even say like it's
If you
just
had to pick one.
like in the thing.
Got to pick one.
I think what really growing up would be like Skunk 2. Skunk 2 for me because they actually paved the way, for the imports and stuff like that. And even, I'm not gonna lie, the one I just met, Maya Batista, I used to look up to those guys and stuff like that because they're actually one of the OGs in the game and stuff like that and how they, conducted business and stuff like that. I was like, oh, it's I used to look up to those guys. Yeah.
MyLynh?
I honestly, I don't know. I like everybody. I honestly, yeah, I don't have a one
Purses.
purses, handbag, shoes.
Yes.
I know. Honestly, he's my big influence, to be honest with you. So, and I know how good he is with cars and what he does. That I guess he's my biggest influencer, to be honest with you. I can't even think of anyone if I was just to choose one person. Like I trust everything that his opinions and all that stuff. I trust all of it.
Good. Good. Do you have any regrets,
Oh, never.
son?
No regret on anything.
Nothing. Not in
No,
life?
no, definitely not in life because
It's good.
I wouldn't be where
Only
I'm
when
at.
he eats something spicy.
Yeah, I wouldn't be where I'm at if I had one regret on anything. Even, like people like, oh, if I'd have went to do the military over again, I would have went with a different job. I don't even wish on that because the job that I picked was a hard job, but it made me who I am. Appreciate things and all that. So, and it taught me a lot about leadership and taught me about the person that I don't want to be, that kind of leader, and made me build my own leadership skills and all that and everything. So no, I definitely don't regret nothing. Even my younger years, not that people don't know about, but yeah,
We don't want to go there.
yeah.
MyLynh, do you got any regrets?
Regrets.
Something you haven't done or something you wish you did or anything?
No, not really. No. I mean, I'm pretty much content. I kind of, like him, everything is
Well
an
balanced.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always like I said before, I roll with the punch. I don't let anything bring us down, Yeah, at the time being, you got to figure it out. That's the only, part where but there's always a way to figure everything out,
Okay, both of you, cash in hand, what new car are you buying? Cash in hand, son. Has to be a new car.
A new car?
Brand
It has
new?
to be brand new.
Oh man,
It has to be
You already
brand
know
new.
what mine is. He has the answer to mine. Tell him what mine is.
it's a G-Wagon, so
63?
Yeah, bi-turbo 60 AMG 63.
probably me. It would probably be the new the Skylines.
New one.
Yeah, the new one, Skylines. Yeah, something about them. I don't know. I just
You see, I'm short, so I need something that can keep me out of like flood water and stuff like that. So,
All that power. V8, huh?
yeah.
I asked all my guests this. What's a song that's the soundtrack to your life?
oh man.
So, have you ever heard of like freestyle music?
Mhm.
Yeah, we're into freestyle. We love freestyle. That was like our era growing up, and my playlist is mostly freestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no specific song. It just gives you like a little like real peaceful
Yeah.
flow, to your mind.
Fair enough.
My lady, it's been Forever Young.
Oh,
Forever Young.
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't
he's
know
been
that.
playing that a lot.
So,
Ever-
but it's just like with the remix version of
Yeah.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's just real calm. I'm driving. It's just,
That's
you know,
it.
like I can
You can
relate
just
to something
roll
like
up,
that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I guess, that's what mine is.
Fair enough. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you would like to tell the viewers, personally or about your shop, business-wise? Anything we haven't covered you want to share?
Other than stay tuned. If if you have Hondas and you're looking to go all-wheel drive one day, we're here. We're here to help. Anytime. Everything is S1 built. Even our phone number is 727 S1 built. All of the social media pages are all S1 built. And we're working, like I said earlier, we're working up the vehicle chassis. So if we don't have it yet, we will eventually have it. We're trying to basically make one dream come true at a time.
Well said. Son?
I kind of do, but kind of like a little advice for people out there. What made me who I am today is, growing up, I was always like the shy type. I don't like talking to like in publics and stuff like that. But when I joined the military, I was still even I was like, man, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, but I learned something in life that I live by. Actually, I live by every day with it is what makes that person better than you. That's because I was literally like, I was a buck private, and command sergeant major's up there talking this and that, and and that ever since that day, it just changed my mind. Where I was like, oh, I could do that, and that's what really made me change. Like, oh, I could do that, but watching him talk and all that, and looking at this guy, I'm like, what makes him better than me? I was like, nothing. He got more experience, he got more, time and all that. But I could be, and ever since I have that mindset, it's been great. Like nothing has stopped me from doing what I've been doing. It's when you want to do something, you just have to tell us that what makes him better than you. So, and that's what I go by. So anybody out there, you have you want to do something, just go for it, because the biggest hurdle is yourself. A lot of time, I have a lot of people got great ideas, but the problem with it is they never push forward with it. It's just an idea, and then they just stop.
Yeah.
So
Hence the slogan, don't look
Yeah.
for happiness, build it.
yeah, exactly.
It's a very inspiring story from both of you, and I can tell you're proud of each other.
No, definitely.
So that's really good energy.
Yeah.
Well, until the next one, we are going to close out, and we will catch you on the next one. If you appreciate the content, hit the like button. Deny me if you wish, hit the dislike button. Both support the show.